G'day, mate. Are you digging for gold? Yes, you are. But the trick is that the gold we have is actually the power of our friendship together, friends. This is what it's like when you dig for gold and finally get it. Digging for gold is the only provable way on-chain where everyone can win. Where you can win, where I can win. Digging for gold. What is digging for gold, friends? Obviously, it's buy low, sell high. It is buying low, holding long term. Okay, and we got to enjoy this picture that I made. Spent a lot of time making this. Peppy. You understand? Peppy in the treasure chest and me hanging out here. Yay! Da-da-da-da-da-da. Found some gold. Now, digging for gold, friends, it's a term I've made. Obviously, represents buying low, selling high, and just holding long term. Don't worry about the selling part. It's the holding long term. That's the hard part, okay? The clicking sell button when there's euphoria, it's not that hard. Everyone says it's hard. It's not that hard, okay? It's only hard because a lot of people have bought high and they don't want to let go, okay? So I'm here to just help you and empower you, friends, because what I'm about to show you now is important. So if we look here, right, I've got mid-curvers, charlatans, and grifters will try to sell you shovels. So metaphorically, what they will be doing is they will say, here's a shovel. And you say, that's not a shovel, that's a spoon. Ha! Ha! That's a spoon! So they'll say, here's a shovel. Buy my shovel and go dig for gold over there. And what they'll tell you is they'll always preface the videos, the marketing, and all of this. They're selling, they're hustling, man, they're hustling. And they'll always preface it by giving you a big, grandiose vision of crypto. They're like, billions of dollars are coming in and the industry is growing. And what they'll do is, they'll do the classic, here's the Bitcoin chart. And they'll do stuff like that. Or they'll just show you the total crypto industry market cap, okay? This is total crypto. And they'll be like, wow, you used to be 6 billion, then you went to 260 billion, then you went to 2 to 3 trillion, and so on, okay? That's what they'll say. And they'll basically, they do everything that I will say up to a point. But then there's a deviation after that point. Now, friends, it's okay, man. Maybe, look, it's okay. There's products out there you want to buy, you want to try. I'm here to empower you and to shortcut it for you. Because obviously, look, for someone new coming into crypto, if you've never seen it, you make the right decision at the start. It's only after you basically get brainwashed that you think that this time is different for you. So people on the outside, when they come in, they go, oh, that sounds too good to be true. They always do that, right? And they're right most of the time. They go, oh, that guy sounds like a grifter. That guy sounds like a scammer. Or this thing that promises to earn money, that's weird. Why would you be selling it for whatever price you're selling it, a couple of $100 or $1,000? Why don't you make it to make a lot of money? Why are you giving it away to me, right? So that's people who are skeptic who come in. But as you start to listen to whoever it is selling you the product, there's always a nice shiny reason. They're always smiley, shiny teeth. And they're always say, oh, I want to help you, my friend. And oh, I'm already rich and I don't need this. And this is what I'm doing and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So they'll always try to sell you that shovel. And I'm going to give you examples of some shovels. And I'm going to help you out with stuff you just got to know beforehand. Maybe it's going to trigger you. Maybe, friends, I'm helping a lot of people, man. Friends, look, I would rather you, man. Okay, you got $5,000 to blow. Don't blow $5,000 on indicators, private groups, and do all that, man. Crypto's growth rate is way too high for you to do that. Now, if you told me you only had $5,000 to your name and all we had in the world was the stonk market, okay, the S&P 500, if all we had was that, friends, okay, sure. I will then be telling you, all right, man, the stock market is only growing it's only growing at 7 to 8% per year. So if you left your $5,000 in after 10 years, you're only going to get a 2x. Real number. Your $5,000 will be 10 grand. So that rate of return is pretty poop. Okay, it's good for a large sum of money. It's not good for $5,000. You need something with a higher rate of return. Now, before crypto, you would always see the Tai Lopez knowledge type of guys come out and they'll say, invest in yourself. Which is true. Invest in yourself. Invest in education. And they'll go, oh, and I have the education just for you. So please come here, read this book, take this squeaky chair and sit down. So they'll always You know, they're always trying to like funnel you in some way. It's a marketing funnel. But ultimately, friends, selling that shovel only makes one person rich. It's not you and it's not me. It's the person selling the shovel, all right? There are no shovels that'll make you rich. So, look, we got to meet somewhere in the middle. We can't just like always knock these, and we can't always accept these shovels. You gotta take them for what they are, and you got to be wary of the timing where they appear. That's important as well. Okay. So now I'm going to play some nice gentle angel music, friends, just to smooth it over, because the first one I'll speak to you about are indicators. Okay, now indicators, people always sell indicators, and I'm just going to be bluntly tell you, right? You try any indicator out, all their win rates are about 50-50. You know, some periods with some products, they're like 45% win rate. The others are 55%. Everything's around 50-50. Plus, when you look at an indicator, they're only using one of two concepts, or sometimes both, okay? They're either going with the trend or against it, okay? So if you're going with a trend, they're trying to basically calculate how much has the price moved relative to a moving average or whatever standard of unit they use, and they just want to say, okay, now we've established a trend in this way, so you're going with it, okay? And then going against the trend, price oscillations, they're trying to look at extensions, and they're trying to normalize themselves, okay? And all of them come from past price, because all these indicators, they're going to come in, they're going to appear, friends. I'm telling you now, they're going to appear, more and more going to appear, different names. They have different colors, different blinkies, different flashing signs. And I know, bless your hearts, new people are going to come in and they're going to think this one is the way, the truth, the light, but it's not, all right? And what makes it rougher for new people is when they're looking at the back-tested data, when these indicators come out, the people will only select the good periods of time. So they'll only show, for example, Bitcoin's green monthly candle part going up. Okay, so like, friends, I can pretty much, if you screenshot me, if you just take me back to 2016 here and we just do it to the Bitcoin run, dude, every single indicator that tells you to buy goes up. That's what I need you to know. In a bull market, don't confuse brains for the bull market, right? Anything that's like bullish divergence or buying a dip or RSI below 20, they all work. They all work, okay? They all, because the market price went up. But over time, they eventually don't work. You'll learn in markets, it's not about making the money. They'll say it's about keeping the money. And when they talk about that, you don't really understand until you've been here many years. It's about knowing when to take your foot off the accelerator. Stop accelerating, okay? People will trade themselves into ruin. They'll keep switching coins and around, and that's how people end themselves pretty much bankrupt, all right? But you don't learn that at the start. A lot of people get destroyed first, right? All the greatest traders, friends, are blown up. You know, like Paul Tudor Jones, everyone blows up. They all blow up. The Jesse Livermore blew up a couple of times. That's what everyone blows up, friends. You have to blow up to learn what not to do. Then once you do it, you never break it ever again if you're going to make it in this game, okay? So indicators, I've given you the principles of those. They'll always show you like, oh, there's some mixing and matching of these different indicators. Ultimately, friends, like, you can even just use my one for free, bro. It's not my one. It's just a weekly super trend. I use the weekly super trend, and if it's green, it seems to be a bull market. If it's red, it just seems to be poopy time. And you don't get a specific trade indicator off them. Remember, the weekly super trend is 3 times the ATR. And if you use weekly, it's just default settings. Weekly has less fake outs than the daily. The daily fakes out all the time. Okay, so another concept that you need to understand with indicators is the people selling you indicators, they're not long-term holders. Because if they were long-term holders, they wouldn't even have this mindset of, let me collect as many people who want to like short-term trade and do any of that. Okay, so you really got to be careful when it comes to that. Okay, now I'm not saying, oh, all indicators are not going to work, whatever. Sometimes you learn some stuff, sometimes. But look, I still haven't met in my life since trading. Someone said, I bought this indicator and then I made a lot and I retired. It's never that. It's usually, I bought this indicator, it worked for a bit, and then the market conditions changed and then it all went to poopy town, okay? Another thing you have to be careful of, these are all selling shovels, right? Private groups. So remember what I'm talking about selling shovels. So someone says, oh, don't buy and hold. Buy and holding is a scam. Even though I've given you thousands of video content of hours of talking to you about the monetary supply, global liquidity index, all these other macro stuff, long-term holding. And by the way, friends, it's not even opinion, dude. It's statistically viable on-chain. You can see, oh, these millions and millions of people, how do they win? Okay, long-term holding. Okay. With everything else, you have to like guess, or they take like certain periods of time. All right. So the next shovel will be private groups. Now, private groups, it'll encompass like, like people who do like, whale groups or people just trying to sell stuff. Now, look, man, well, it's okay. Okay, I respect. Everyone's got to hustle, but most of these private groups, you got to think about what your intention in there is. What's it for? Is it to learn information before everybody else? Because if you do that, you're starting to go into short-term trading stuff. And I'll tell you right now, friends, look, if I have an edge, I'm not giving it away, bro. If it's a short-term edge, no way in hell. Like, there's only a certain amount of liquidity that can be grabbed when it's cheap. Like, for example, friends, if there is a supermarket out there and it's selling apples for $1 an apple, and then you go to your local store and the apples they're 50 cents. In an ideal world, you think there's like 1,000 apples you can buy for 50 cents there. But in reality, there's only like 5. All right? There's only 5 apples. So if the thing is really 50 cents here and it's $1 over there, you'll just buy all 5 of them for yourself, right? Or maybe you don't even have enough liquidity. Maybe you'll buy 3 of them, someone else buys 2. It's game over by that point, okay? But people can't understand that concept because we're constantly optimistic when we come in and we're just naive. People think, oh, okay, there's infinite opportunity for infinite liquidity. This must mean it works. No, you end up getting farmed yourself. If you're getting funneled into this type of mentality, this is what private groups will do. There'll be things like you'll hear words like arbitrage and all these other things, cost chain things. They try to use AI. They try to just throw these buzzwords in. Maybe they're trying to sell you a Telegram bot or just some sort of bot. Very important, friends. There's also Discord premiums, which is like, hey, join my private group. And then you have stuff in there. Now, that's okay, man. Maybe the influencer or whatever, maybe they're just selling time and knowledge. And that's all right. They pay for a mentor. It is good. But I'm just warning you, during a bull market, we leave the believers and it just becomes grifters. Most of it just becomes grifters. So the normal good people are outnumbered like 10 to 1. Because all the people come in, they're coming from stocks. Oh, I know how to trade this way or whatever. And it sucks everybody in, okay? Be careful with the bots. They're all, I'm telling you right now, they're all scams. Every bot's a scam. None of them work. They're all like 50-50 at best. They just want your money. Of course, they always want your money. They don't work. There is no arbitrage. You don't have a trading system. It's not consistent. And just to let you know why, and what I'll do, I'll play some nice Frankie G bizarre music. So friends, the Telegram, like not just trading bots, but all alerts and bots like that, they're all 50-50 and they'll backtest certain ways. But you won't know that until basically you've like run out your time and you won't find out it doesn't work after 1 or 2 months, okay? And they're just collecting money off everybody who wants to participate in trade. So I hope you're getting a point of what I'm throwing your way here. The general idea, I'm sure you've noticed, is people who want to do a lot of short-term moves. You see? So people who want to make a lot of decisions in a short amount of time, they're easily exploitable. Because, oh, I've got to make 5,000 decisions, right? I've got to buy and sell, I've got to do this. I need something. I need a guiding principle. And it's very easy to deceive people and let them think that they need a guiding star. Here is my guiding star. Here is my arbitrage bot or whatever, okay? They're all fake and they don't work. And just to let you know, friends, I know people who do make bots and they do work and they don't hang around on Twitter. They don't talk to anybody. They're vultures themselves. So they only read other people's info. They never share anything online. If they have edge that works, they keep all the strategies to themselves. It is an extremely selfish pursuit, friends. It's literally like, it is just, you can use any analogy in life. Friends, no one's going to walk up to you in the street, and then hand you a Ferrari car. Like if someone comes and hands you a Ferrari car, hey, it's $500. Something's going to go wrong. You're like, wait a minute, why are you giving me $500? They're probably going to mug me. See what I mean? That I'm telling you now, this is all the bots, all the trading, all the indicators in crypto and markets. That's exactly what it's like, okay? No one comes and hand it to you. The guy with the Ferrari, He's busy driving it, or he's keeping it in his car. He's not coming and offering you the chance to buy it for like dirt cheap. Okay, so you have to have your wits about you as well. There's always leverage trading strategies, friends, like Forex, stonks, especially crypto. There's always that. And they use the same talking points every time. It's, hey, you can make money when it goes down. It's always that. Wow, diamond hands is for idiots. Every single time. It's, did you know you could make money when prices go down? Simply put, the reason why all this short-term trading is a grift and scam, obviously, number one, if someone has the edge, they don't give it away to you. And number two, it's because everyone really underestimates how many trades they will be doing in the next 12 months. Let me repeat that again. Everyone underestimates how many trades they're going to be doing in the next 12 months. If you calculate maybe 5 trades with a bit of slippage and a bit of brokerage costs, it's not that bad. You're like, oh, I only lose maybe 0.5% total or 1%. That's how much is chewing away at my capital with all the costs. No one's done in 5 trades, okay? You are now on trade 1,000. A trade 2,000, okay? And if you do 1,000 times like 0.01%, you can see charts, friends, of people's charts over time, okay? Their P&L charts when they're not profitable, all these bots, right? So this is the chart. It always starts, so this is 0, okay? And obviously this is positive and this is negative. They always go like this, like a random. But over time, they start to like do that. They basically, and then they all end like that, okay? Because basically over time, the thing is just losing money. It has no edge, and it's like trading over time, and you basically end up like that, okay? So that's why a lot of traders just get destroyed, because they don't actually have a real edge. And if people do have a real edge, friends, they're not giving it away, okay? So here are the facts. There is a global liquidity cycle, and there is a risk curve of altcoins that power up when Bitcoin, the speed, rises. So that itself, friends, needs some pump music, okay? That's actually our edge. Our edge is literally, because you don't have this in stocks and global and commodities and all these, right? Because you have constant DCA money coming in, which obfuscates it, okay? But in crypto, we have the global liquidity cycle, which powers everything up. And remember, Bitcoin is meant to be the global liquidity bucket. It's meant to be a fast bucket. So as these things power up, basically Bitcoin goes to a fair price, but then they overdo it because the excess has to be spread out, and then we pretty much get our bull market, what we call a bull market, all right? Now, it doesn't mean it's going to continue forever. Of course, it's going to break sometime. We don't know, but so far, that's the edge. You want to know what our actual edge is? Like, when people say, why do you hold long term? Why this, why that, why whatever? That's your reason why. You go, all right, bro, right? There is a global liquidity cycle. The world economy died in 2008. They had to lower the rates to 0%, and then they had to print money and just pay off the interest to try to get everything up. And they printed a shitload of money in the zombie virus, and now they're basically going to be barely able to pay off the interest, and they have to kill the fiat debt system to eventually move on to something else, which means they're transferring power, whatever they can, from the final middle class people who are left in the system, and they're just sucking away their purchasing power. How are they doing that? They print money. They go and buy up the assets first, which is the Bitcoin and real estate, that's Rockonega and everything else, until the very end, until they have to rebase, okay? So we know, okay, that's the long-term thing. That's the long-term. Now, day to day, it's a different story, right? But you know that's all happening. We can see it from when global liquidity index starts pumping, friends. We know this thing is all happening, right? We have all the charts, all the evidence. Global liquidity is just global M2, man. It's just the money supply going up over time. They have to do that, okay? So, you might take the view they won't do that. Okay, well, here's the thing. You've got about $8,000. So if crypto goes to 0 because they don't print anymore, you've lost $8,000. Oh, well, it's the end of the world for you. All right, but there's a guy in your community out there in your city. He's worth 80 million. All right, so if they don't print, he's 80 million. He's down to 80,000. Okay, he implodes. He's now poor like everyone else. Now, with that $80 million guy, there's also $8 billion guy with even more power. They don't want it to go to zero. Okay, now, maybe in another alternate timeline universe, yeah, maybe they do the right thing and it goes to zero, but you basically, that's what you're taking a bet. Okay, it's a very simple investment. It's a very simple decision tree. It goes, do you think rich and powerful people want to continue being rich and powerful? If yes, keep holding crypto. That's it. If no, sell and hold stable coins and see what happens. Okay, see what happens. We are all ultimately taking a risk, friends, and 99% of retired people in crypto, they got there by digging for gold. So I've shown you all the shovels. There's many other shovels. I've missed a few of them out here as well. But there's always that, friends. There's always like, oh, here's, here's a way to search Solana addresses that bought a coin first. You got to be careful, friends. The amount of people that can fit in these doors, it's like 5 people, man, and then 10,000 lose. That's not long-term sustainable growth for like everyone on average. Okay, long-term sustainable growth is people coming in to an idea, which is funny, that's what crypto is, an idea, joining a cult, believing in the memes, and holding. That's it. That's literally what it comes down to. So if you don't have the holding part, if people don't believe, then you get nothing. Okay, now, we've done all the hard work. We deserve the reward. Just be careful about buying shovels, okay? Because it's very easy to go into the trap. You buy too many shovels, you screw too many things up, you're left with nothing at the end. There's one last thing, friends. The people selling the shovels, they are non-believers. All right? They are the Bitcoin miners in 2013. Okay? They're the Bitcoin miners. They are the people who, they don't believe. They are there for the yield. So that's how these people think, by the way. Here's a subscription. Here's a model. Here's my website. Blah, 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 blah. All this bullshit, okay? They don't actually truly believe in crypto. If they did, they'd be all in. Okay? You know who's all in on crypto, friends? Jack Mallers. Jack, if you listen to the Peter McDormatt podcast, what Bitcoin did, I think it was like last month or whatever, he really thinks long and hard about hiring an extra employee. He doesn't want to do it. Why? It's because in his mind, Bitcoin is going to $1 million soon. So in his mind, he's like, man, I'm hiring this guy. I don't want to pay him 1.5 Bitcoin a year because after 4 years, I've given this guy 6 Bitcoin, but I know Bitcoin definitely going to $1 million in my mind, so I've given this guy $6 million when I could have had that money working in Bitcoin at the same time. You see that belief, friends? You see that? You see that? That's a believer, man. That's a believer. Someone who's coming and telling you, hey, yeah, crypto is going up. By the way, come and pay me money for this. You got to think about it, okay? You really got to think about what they're doing here. They're yield farming. They're just yield farming in a different way. They have subscription and service. They're like, oh, that's how they think, friends. They think, oh, if I have 1,000 people paying me $100 a month, I have, 1,000 people paying me $100 a month. I have $100,000 coming in per month. All right? That's how they're thinking about it. And all their mindset is thinking about that passive residual income. Don't worry about them. I'll worry about you, man. If you're giving someone, like there are some subscriptions in crypto, people paying $1,000 a year. Okay, so I know they've been part of these services for 4 years. And now going on to the 50 next year. So by the time it's done, you'd have given whoever $5,000. I'm just wondering if you would have gotten of that $5,000, have you gotten more than $50,000 value or $100,000 value? Because that's $5,000 you could have been DCAing into a coin when you're doing research and you get like a 20x out of it. So that's what I ultimately want you to think about. I'm caring about you. I'm here to empower you. Don't worry about these shovel sellers. They're going to keep selling shovels. There's always going to be people who want to learn the hard way. Screw them. I don't care about you. So always think about what capital you are allocating and where. Don't forget Jack Mallers, friends. Jack Mallers. He doesn't want to give away a $1 million salary. That's in his mind, $1 million salary. That's someone who's going to make it. Do you understand? A person telling you, buy this $40 indicator or this Telegram trading bot or front run these Solana Jeets. You know what the funny part is? This exact conversation, I'm going to be repeating it to the next cyclers if we're still here. Okay? And hopefully you'll know exactly what I'm talking about next time. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you in the next one.